Hello, welcome to Apex. I've found that Apex can be a tremendous help for people, but only if they use it properly. And so you've got to figure out how you want to use Apex. What kind of writer are you? Some people are writing as what I would call hobby writers, okay? They write as a hobby. They aren't really interested in becoming New York Times bestsellers. They just have a couple of books in them that they want to get out, and that's just fine, okay? If you're a hobby writer, there's not a whole lot that you need to do. You can go ahead and watch our videos, join in. We have sprints that people run on a daily basis. We have other things that you can get into. And you just kind of choose from that menu. On the other hand, if you are trying to be a professional writer, then you need to realize that writing as a profession requires you to do a few things. First of all, I like to think that when you're writing as a professional, that you're going to be putting out intellectual properties, books, on a regular basis. The goal of a professional writer is to put out books as quickly as possible, not as if you've got to rush them out, but at a rate that's steady. And you want to get them on a regular basis, and then you need to go out and promote them on a global basis and sell them in as many countries and as many different mediums as you possibly can. So you go out and you sell the paper books, you sell the ebooks, you sell the audio books, you sell the movie rights, and so on. So in order to do that in Apex, that's what we're really trying to help you with, okay? We're trying to help you figure out how you're going to do that. And I think there's a few things that you could use Apex for. First of all, we do have classes that you can join, okay? And you'll see that classes are there. People like to get together and take the classes together. So you can go in, for example, and take the story puzzle, and it goes through how to write a novel on a kind of a step-by-step basis. What the idea here is that if you go through with other people, you can do the assignments and then share the assignments with the other people in your writing group so that you can get feedback from them. Okay, we've got enough people that I can't give feedback on all of these assignments, okay? So the next thing that you want to do is you want to look at our weekly meetings. We have weekly meetings with professional editors and agents and best-selling writers and other support personnel, movie producers. And there are over 100 of them that we've done so far. And so if you like, you can go there now and just open up whatever meeting you're interested in and start learning from some of the pros, okay? Another thing that you can do is to get support in your current project. And this is something that you kind of have to take initiative and do on your own. You have the opportunity when you join Apex to join our Facebook group. It's a closed group of professional writers, people like you. Some of them are already publishing, some are winning awards, some of them are just writing furiously, okay? But there's a lot of good writers here. And you're going to find that when you join up with these people, if you want to, for example, get into a brainstorming group, let's say you've got a novel that you're putting together, you've got some ideas, but you'd like to get some help on maybe developing your protagonist or figuring out what's going to happen in your second try-fail cycle in your story, or that type of thing. Or maybe you're even looking at marketing help. You're trying to figure out where you should take this to next. Go ahead and go onto the Facebook group and suggest to people that you want to have a brainstorming session. You want to get into a brainstorming group. You can also do this through the Apex calendar, that kind of thing. We've got other ways that you can do this, but it's going to take some initiative on your part to get people into a brainstorming group. We also have, for those who like, on a daily basis, we have sprint groups. And sprint groups are people who get together and they'll talk for a few minutes, kind of decompress, I guess. And then what they do is they go ahead and they write for, say, 45 minutes at a time. The idea being that you need to give yourself writing time and rest time. every day. And if you do it together with other people, then it works really well. We've had a couple of people, one fellow came onto this group and said that he had wanted to be a writer for 12 years. He wrote his first novel in the next 3 months. We've got other people who are writing together for 8 hours a day, and some of them have written as many as 12 novels in the past year. So getting together and actually setting aside time to write every day is key, because I think that as you do that, your subconscious mind will be working on your story the rest of the day, and it'll be supplying new ideas and insights and interesting turns of phrases and plot twists and that type of thing. And so you need to begin writing every day. After you're done writing, very often you may want critiques, and there are people who start critique groups. Once again, getting into a critique group may require some initiative. You may want to look for a group that would be good for you. I've posted some tips on how to handle writing groups, and I suggest that you try to keep them fairly small with just a few people. You don't want a group with 100 people in it, okay? That's just unworkable. Something with more like 6 or 8 people is great. And what you do is you provide critiques for one another, and typically critique groups will meet on a weekly basis to critique manuscripts. But you get into those critique groups and you just start critiquing your manuscripts. Maybe you turn in a chapter each week, and particularly don't turn in the ones that make you look good. Turn in the ones that make you look bad. Turn in the ones that need help, okay? Because that's where you're really going to get the greatest benefit from this group. Once you do all of that, then we have to get into the whole thing of, hey, how do we sell this? And that's a whole nother ballgame. I've given plenty of tips on that. I've got videos on how to sell in 2020. We have experts who come on to talk about indie publishing versus traditional publishing. Right now, indie publishing is doing just fantastic. Ebook sales are up by about 18% over the past year from what they were the year before. And a year ago, they were saying that 55% of all the money that was coming into authors was coming from from ebook sales, okay, from places like Kindle. So there are paths that work to sell ebooks. I'm going to be talking a lot about that in upcoming videos with Apex, because I don't believe that selling just as an indie or as a traditionally published author is the best path. Most people make more money if they combine the two and work both in the indie field and as traditionally published authors. So there's a lot of opportunities out here. I hope you're excited. I hope you keep yourself excited, and that you have a wonderful time with Apex. We're always here. I will be having weekly meetings. You'll be able to see me then. If you've got questions, feel free to ask. Thank you.